Hello, in this video I will show you how to create a scatter plot in Google Sheets. As you may know, the scatter plot is used to illustrate the relationship between two quantitative variables. In this file, I have a list of all of the schools in the state of Georgia and the amount of money spent per student by each one of these schools. I have the total amount and I also have the federal amount and the state amount. Let's say that I'm interested in the relationship between the federal amount and the state amount. In other words, I want to see if when the federal amount increases, the state amount also increases, or is the other way around. So to do that, I'm going to use a scatter plot to examine that relationship. To begin, I'm going to select these two columns which show the federal amount and the state amount, and then I'm going to click Insert and then Chart. Now, by default, Google Sheets is going to create a line chart, but this is not very helpful for my purpose. I can see in this line chart that the state amount is represented in red, and it tends to be a little bit higher than the federal amount. All I can see here is that maybe some of the schools spend a lot more than others per student in terms of state money. I can see that there are also some negative values, which can be data entry errors or coding errors, or maybe some other way to represent the amount. This is real data, so I don't know for sure why those amounts were negative, but these types of data explorations certainly help in exploring the data and helping us getting started in examining why those values may be negative. So going back to my original purpose of examining the relationship between the two variables, I am going to select a different type of chart from the chart editor. So I'm going to click on the drop down arrow. And as you can see, there's another suggestion here of a scatter plot, which is what I need. If you don't get this suggestion, all you have to do is scroll down and select the scatter plot from the scatter section. But I have the suggestion here. This is a type of graph that I need. So what I want here is to see that each data point represents an individual school, and I have the federal amount on the x-axis, the state amount on the y-axis. This tells me that there's a relatively strong relationship between the two, a positive relationship, showing that in general, as the federal amount increases, the state amount also increases. I can also see the extreme cases like this school right here that spends a lot of federal and state money per student, and some other interesting cases like, for instance, these cases that receive very little state money, but they have they spend a lot of federal money. So um, this is definitely an interesting way of examining the data and a first step in examining relationships between variables. We can further customize this chart. For instance, we can click on the customize button and go on axis and titles and change the name of the x or the y axis if we want to. We can choose to add some data labels or add a trend line. I would like to have a trend line here. This is going to help me see that there is a positive slope here. As I mentioned earlier, as the federal amount increases, the state amount also seems to be increasing.